Hello and welcome to the 30k channel, a channel dedicated to games set in the HORUS Heresy. I'm your host, David Brains, and what an absolute treat we have for you today. We have the absolute pleasure of hosting this amazing game. We've got Lyden Proctor with us today.
Nice to be here, really good to be here. Thank you for having us.
Fantastic. And we've got Jamie Milligan with us.
Yeah, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, man. I mean, you guys have done me an absolute solid one here. Two beautiful armies. Two great guys. We had some drinks and some dinner last night.
Lots of drinks, lots of dinner.
Got to know each other a little bit more, so we had a lovely evening. And then we're down here today in the city fight. Warhound, firing,
stalking through the streets.
It's going to be wild, eh? We've got some big buildings and lots of cover.
God, yeah.
It's going to be spectacular.
It's going to be awesome. The table itself's really cool. I can't wait to see all these running through them, causing havoc and.
It's going to generate some good photos, I think.
Generate some really good photos.
And more importantly, a really great game for you guys at home. Now, it's worth mentioning that that both Jamie and Lyden have put some amazing miles to be here today. You've come away from West Cumbria.
Yeah.
What sort of mileage are we talking?
Mileage, I'm not 100%, but it's about five hours.
Yeah, it's just a lot. Travel. And you nipped into Full Draw before you came here, didn't you?
We did.
Made some purchases, is that right?
Potentially.
One of us.
It's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard. So you popped in there and you whizzed over to the channel. We had a little chat, built the board, had some food. We were up nice and early. We were here at, 8 this morning?
8 o'clock.
Getting set up. So we've got a big game for you. Now, we said at the top of it, amazing, really great armies. We've got Mechanicum Iron Warriors. Jamie, talk to me a little bit about your Mechanicum.
Well,
Great colour scheme on the base.
I wanted to go for I love the Red and Mechanicum and the book Mechanicum. I really enjoy. I've read it about 5 or 6 times now. And I love the Martian Red, but just doing a red base on the Mechanicum, I just felt it wasn't enough. So I decided to go for In Your Face, practically pink. And
neon.
It definitely... You'll notice it.
Yeah, you're the scourge at Warhammer World, I hear.
Oh yeah, I'm the scourge at Warhammer World. The last Throne of Skulls I went to, Ed Barfield, who runs the tournament, he messaged me 3 days after from the tournament personally, saying how much he absolutely hated me because it took 6 cleaners to clean the board. And 3 days worth of cleaning.
Wowzers, that's a lot.
He sent me a picture saying how much he hates me, and he says you need to bring them back again. So in the future, they will be shown again.
That's great. And at the front there, you've got Scoria on his abeyant there.
Yeah. Obviously, there isn't a model for Scoria yet,
sure,
but rumour is he's coming out soon. So in the meantime, I'm using my custom abeyant with the standard Negos model.
Looks really great.
Yeah.
Big imposing model, lots of stuff coming out of it.
Yeah.
I think the important thing is there's no actual understanding of what an aberrant is. It can be whatever Negos makes. So if you've got a Dune walking crab, you've got a Dune walking crab.
Yeah. I love the Mechanicum in the sense that you can literally make whatever you want, and it opens up the possibility of so many conversions. And at the moment, the amount of people who are doing custom work on Megoses and units, it's amazing.
Like the orcs of 30k. A little bit.
It's a great way of putting it. Yeah. And at the back, you brought us the big guy. The first time on the channel, the Porphyron. Amazing model.
Yeah, I've only used it in game. This will be the 3rd time, I think. It's proved very well. It's got some kill counts.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
One of the best kill counts I've ever had was a Cecil Assault Ram.
That'll do.
Which decided to ram it and then knocked it out the sky.
Battered it down with its big weapons.
It was quite hilarious.
And we were really conscious of the range on these sort of weapons. Yeah. That's why we've got a really tall city fight board to try and get some really great line of sight blockers. And some of those buildings can hide both of these large models.
Yeah, so easily. We put that on the board last night to sort of test it going down the roads, and it was completely covered by a building.
Yeah,
which we've never really had.
So it's going to be a whole new.
We didn't want it to be a shooting gallery, just two big things set at the end of the board, just kind of shooting. So there will be some moving around, and so we'll see how that goes. But Lyden, you've brought amazing Iron Warriors.
Thank you very much.
Talk to me a little about your list choice. You got a lot of dreadnoughts.
I have, yeah. With my Iron Warriors, I sort of wanted to be contradictory in the way that I ran them, and it's nothing against your typical Iron Warriors list, which is a lot of siege, a lot of quad mortars and basilisks and sort of bombard sort of vehicles. I wanted to go on the complete other other side of things and go more dreadnoughts, but theme it around Carvalen.
Mm-hmm.
So Carvalen is my warlord, and he's a loyalist Iron Warrior. So obviously, if you've read the books and the stories, he breaks away from Perturabo. So the theme with the army is these are sort of the last surviving warriors that are stuck with Car that are loyal. So in my mind's eye, it's anything that's either fast, so you like the Sakaran, it's got away along with Car, and anything sort of dreadnoughty that's been able to walk away and get through cover, and obviously the Warhound they tagged along with, which is in the Legio Furines colours, which is actually a traitor colour.
Okay.
But during the Heresy, there were traitors before they came out, so they practiced dark rituals, and the Imperium sort of let it slide because I had a really good kill record. That only second, I think, to Mortis, or they were really up there. And yeah, so for counts in this game, this is a loyal Titan. Okay, he thinks. So I like that. So I just wanted that aspect of nothing that's your typical just bombards, and I really wanted to run dreadnoughts. So I've got some Leviathans in there, Doradios, some Mortis Dreads, and then some normal infantry. I just wanted sort of a fast paced, I can move them and not worry about these big artillery that need to stay there and shoot.
Yeah. And a couple of things we need to talk about, the weapon choice on your Warhound. You've done a really decent thing by not taking double D.
Well, I'm known normally for doing D weapons with Titans. It's one of them. When you run a Titan like this or anything bigger, you generally have at least one, because you're going to come across other vehicles like that thing. But I thought for the purpose of this game, it is boring and it is a bit underwhelming to just sit there and fire D template after turn, and it's demoralising sometimes, even for both players. It doesn't become a good game for you, and they don't have a good game. Sure. So I thought we'd neuter the beast a little bit and give her 2 flamers, which are still great, but it definitely encourages movement. I'm going to stalk this around the board, take snapshots and fire at units that are running between roads or between buildings, and just make it look really thematical. And it can't hurt that, which is another thing. So I'm going to have to find my own way with the vehicles and weapons I have to try and either take that down or do my best to not get killed from it.
Also, that Hellstorm template in City Fight will be fantastic. Strength 7, AP3.
Flamer, so no covers.
Exactly right. So that's a really great choice there. And you've also brought us a variant of the Sakaran here.
I have, This is my own take on the Sakaran. I really liked the rules mainly for the Sakaran when it came out. So I thought I'd try and do my own. I wasn't a big fan of that single gun on the sort of gimbal. A lot of people are totally fine, but I didn't really like it. So I thought of using the Vulture upgrade kits for that Forge World cell. It's 2 Punisher cannons. Right. So I bought a normal Sakaran, cut the auto cannons off. The barrels for the Punisher cannons fit directly over the auto cannon, so where they're finished when I cut it, and extended the barrels. Drum magazines with the autocannon ones from the Punisher. Looks great. And it does the job. Yeah, it really does.
And just give us the rough stats of this guy.
It's heavy 18 shots on the turret, strength 5, AP 4. If you don't move it on the turn that you've so if you start your turn and you haven't moved that turn previously, you can choose to give the main gun rend. So it's heavy 18 rend. Obviously 6s. And then I've also armed it with 2 pintle mounted heavy bolters, the heavy bolt that's in the hull, and a pintle mount on the turret there. So that gives it an extra 12 shots, so it's like 30 shots total. So even if you don't get that rend, if this is going around a corner, it needs to move out a line of fire. I can slide it around a corner and shoot a tech thrall unit and hopefully kill it. 30 shots should do it.
That's so cool.
It keeps with the theme as well. They've been a fast vehicle. I can get around corners and I can hopefully put it into a position where that following turn I might be able to get something where I can rend.
Yeah, I reckon.
If I catch that off guard somehow.
Yeah, you could catch that off guard and you could rend it to death. Yeah, it could happen. It's only got 8 hull points.
It's only has 8 hull points. Yeah, but I need 8 6s.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Rate of fire really does work in this game. Yeah, it works really well. Now, just moving on to the mission a little bit, we've called this mission Dominion of Lies, and what we've done is we're essentially doing the War of Lies mission with the the Price of Failure component of Dominion. Yeah. So we have mixed it up just a little bit because we both got Lord of War. We wanted to give some opportunity for points to be scored. Yeah. So we'll go through that at the end. Hopefully it'll be a tense game and we'll have some rolls on the War of Lies chart.
The way the table's set out, I really do think it's going to be quite tight.
It's going to be really tight.
Normally it would be slightly one-sided, I think, because I'd have a clear line of sight, but the amount of cover and the amount of terrain, it's going to be very interesting.
Should be all right.
Cover is going to be a key thing in this game, definitely.
Good. And then we're also using the Hammer and Anvil deployment as well. So we're end-to-end. So 24-inch deployment deep
Yeah.
and 24 no man's land. So
Gives a good couple of turns
Yeah.
for them long shots before we start grinding each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, it should be quite good.
Slow walk across the table.
No, not this thing. That's
No, not
that's
that
going to
thing.
run up the table at you.
All that remains to say is I think you guys at home will agree that these two guys, really great, lovely guys, two beautiful armies. They've put a lot of passion, a lot of thought behind their armies, and that really shows on the tabletop. So really looking forward to this game. We're going to get right down into your lists.
Yep.
Work out what we've got.
Yep.
We haven't decided who's gone first or second yet, but we'll do that just before we start the game.
Yep.
And we will see you at the beginning of turn 1.
2,500 points of loyal Iron Warriors led by Caer Valen running the Hammer of Olympia Rite of War, accompanied by a Warhound class Titan. This is my HQ. This is Caer Valen, Battlesmith of the 77th Iron Warriors, loyal. He is equipped with a servo arm, a Volkite charger, and a Paragon blade. Elites. This is a pair of Contemptor Mortis Dreadnoughts with Carries assault cannons as an individual elite choice each, not a Talon. Troops is 3 squads of Mark III Marines. The sergeants have power maws and plasma pistols and frag and crack grenades, and 1 sergeant has a power sword and plasma pistol. Heavy support for the Iron Warriors, we have a Talon of Leviathans. The first Leviathan is armed with twin Volkites in the carapace and twin storm cannons, no Phosphex launcher. The second Leviathan is a close combat Leviathan armed with a siege drill and claw with flamers in the carapace and a Phosphex discharger on the top. Continuing with the Iron Warriors heavy support choice, we have a Doridio armed with las cannons, heavy bolters in the carapace and Alias missile launchers. Final heavy support choice for the Iron Warriors is the Olympia pattern Sakaran Punisher. It's armed with the Punisher cannon, 2 pinto-mounted heavy bolters, a pinto mounted on the turret, and the heavy bolter in the hull. The Lord of War is a Legio Furians Warhound. It is armed with 2 Flamestorm cannons, which will be invaluable in a city fight situation, ignoring cover and burning down people that are hiding in buildings.
2,500 points of the Legio Cybernetica cohort, led by Scoria, accompanied by a Castus Knight Porphyrion. The HQs for the Mechanicum, leading the force, is Scoria. He is armed with the Vaudian Scepter, 2 Archaeotech pistols, and is atop his Abeant, which has also got a Photon Thruster. In the force, there is also 2 Magos Dominuses, these to help boost the troops, repair anything that needs repaired. They are armed with Machinator Arrays, Abeyance, Cyber Familiars, and Melter Bombs. Troops choices from the Mechanicum. The first and second choices are a squad of 10 Tech Thralls. They are equipped with Mitolocks and they've been upgraded to have the Rite of Pure Fort, which gives them Fearless. Third troop choices for the Mechanicum is a unit of 3 Castellex armed with multi-melters and power blades and bolt guns for their fists. This will be the bodyguard for Scoria. The fourth and fifth choice for the Mechanicum for the troops is a squad of 3 Castellex armed with Mauler bolters and bolt guns. The final troop choice for the Mechanicum is a squad of 3 Castellex armed with Darkfire cannons and enhanced targeting, which gives them +1 ballistic skill and -1 to the enemy's cover save. The Mechanicum faster choice, I have 2 individual units of Vultrex that are armed with arc rifles and missile pods. The Lord of War choice from the Mechanicum is an Acastus Knight Porphyrion. He is armed with 2 twin-link magma las cannons, 2 autocannons, and the Iron Storm missile pod.
Gentlemen, we are deployed, all ready to go. Is that right?
That's
Yes.
right.
Objectives have been placed in strategic positions. Great stuff.
Yeah.
So, gents, I'm really looking forward to this. I hope you guys are too.
Yep.
Yep.
Good
Okay.
stuff. Friendly
Okay.
handshake.
Okay.
And
Yes.
currently, Mechanicum are going first. Is that right?
That is
Mechanicum won
correct.
deployment, yeah.
But Lyden, the Iron Warriors won it. Is that right?
No, I'm going to try and seize the initiative.
Fantastic.
So here we go.
All right, good luck.
For
Let's
this.
see how we go. Oh, it's a 4.
My reign has ended.
Okay, straight on to Mechanicum, turn 1.
Mechanicum turn 1 movement. I got some really good dice rolls on my move through cover with my Castellex, so they're slowly advancing up with the Dominuses and Scoria in tow. The Tech Frowls have started to move towards the objective to try and claim that for next turn. The Porphyrion, I decided to keep still to get a better fighting solution on the Iron Warriors, who are slowly advancing up the board. Mechanicum turn 1 shooting. To kick things off, the Darkfire squad of Castellex have fired at a tactical squad over in the other corner. I got 5 rolls to hit, and I've got 5 wounds on that squad. I've suffered 1 wound on Castellex due to Gets Hot, but now Lyden needs to take 5 cover saves with -1 because of enhanced targeting.
Yeah, I need 5 6-up saves, so wish me luck. And 1 saved for wounded.
In addition to the AP2 of the weapons, the Darkfire cannons also cause the blind special rule, which Lyden will need to take now on initiative test for the squad.
Yeah, I need to get a 400 on a d6, so wish me luck. And I failed.
The Porphyrion has fired its left magma las cannon at the Leviathan in front of this, well, behind the statue. I've rolled 2 hits on it, followed by 2 penetrating hits on it, so Lyden needs to now roll for his invulnerable save.
Yeah, I need to roll 2 4-up invulnerable saves for this Leviathan with storm cannons. So here we go. Wish me luck. And both failed. Both did the damage chart.
Now rolling on the damage chart. Good result, 2 stun results on the Leviathan.
Not a bad result from the shooting off the Porphyrion's magma las cannons at the Leviathan. Suffered 2 hull points, but because I'm Iron Warriors, I get extra armour. It's still got 2 hull points left, and it's going to hopefully get up the board and make sure it gets a bit of revenge for receiving them 2 hull points.
The Porphyrion fired its 2 autocannons at the Titan. I was able to get all hits with it, but unfortunately wasn't able to glance it. And then fired the magma cannon at the Titan. I was able to strip both its void shields and was able to get 5 wounds on the Iron Havocs. Lyden now just needs to take 5 cover saves of a 4+.
Yeah, well, as Jamie said, I just need 5 4-ups, so here we go. And 4 saved.
The Porphyrion fired its Ironstone missile bank at the tactical squad in the plaza. I got 8 hits on the squad and 8 wounds. Only 2 saving throws were missed, which caused the sergeant and the legionary to die. The gentleman that is Scoria is going to fire his photon thruster at the Sicaran Punisher, needing 2s to hit and 6s to glance because of Lance. 2 hits, needing 6s to glance. 1 glance. End of the Mechanicum shooting phase. I've moved up the Castellex with a run move and the Tech Frells to go towards the objective. Now see what the Iron Warriors can throw at us.
Iron Warriors turn 1 movement. The tactical squad moved up towards the objective and started to get into a little bit of cover. The Doridio came from outer cover to try and get a firing solution on the Castellex with Darkfire Lancers. The Combat Leviathan has moved and tucked itself into some cover to avoid getting shot at by the Castellex and potentially Scoria. The Sicaran seems to have moved up a little bit down the alleyway after getting shot. It didn't like that, so it wants to try and get some payback. Again, the Leviathan with the Storm Surge cannons is not really like getting shot at and wants to get some pain on the Castellex and Scoria. Carvalen and his unit have moved into cover to hide from the Porphyrion for a while and also gain ground on the objective. The Mortis is holding position, given a firing solution on the plaza. 2 of the Iron Havocs have replaced the dead ones on the roof to get a better firing solution on Scoria. The Mortis Contemptor has moved down the alleyway where the Warhound was. The tactical squad in the plaza have moved up onto the oil drum, and the Warhound has stampeded its way through a building, ready to burn Castellex and Archmagos Dominus. Iron Warriors turn 1 shooting. The Doridio is going to fire its magma las cannons at the Castellex with Darkfire Lancers. And BS5, 2 shots, heavy 1 each, hitting on 2s. Wish me luck. Yes, that's 2 hits. That's good. Strength 10, AP 1. So I'm looking for 2 ups again for a wound. 2 wounds. Great stuff.
That's 2 successful hits on the Castellex. There's no cover in between, so I need 5 up atomic shielding, which caused 1 wound.
1 wound. That's good. The Dreadio fired the remainder of its weapons, the heavy bolters and the Helios missiles, but to no avail. No wounds. Nothing. The Leviathan with the storm cannons was unfortunately crew shaken, so it had to snap fire 12 shots. It missed with 10, getting 2 successful hits and then 1 successful wound, which Jamie seems to fail, so we got a wound on the Castellex, which is great news for me. The Iron Havocs are now going to take a potentially crucial shot at the Porphyrion. There's going to be 9 shots heading its way, 2 which are snap firing because 2 of them have moved up onto the roof. Carvalens give them the ability to reroll 1s to hit, and then they have Tank Hunter, so they get to reroll on their damage. So I'll do the snap firing ones first, looking for 6s. Get to reroll 1s. No successful hits. The remaining squad is going to hit on 2s, which I get to reroll that one because of Carvalen's rule. All hits. Strength 9, AP 2. I'm looking for 5s to glance. Oh yes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 penetrations, a glance and a reroll for Tank Hunter, which did nothing, but that is fantastic news. So that was a fantastic round of shooting for me. Jamie, if you'd like to now take your Ion Shield saves on the glance first, please.
So 4 up.
Nope, failed.
Go through.
And then 4 penetrating hits, please.
4 ups.
Ooh,
2
50%.
penetrating hits that go through.
Now we need to see what the penetrating hits do on the damage chart, so please be 6s. Oh, it's not. It's +1 AP 2, so that goes to a 5 and a 2. So because I was firing at a super heavy walker, the damage chart doesn't necessarily matter, so I just scored 3 hull points on it overall, which isn't terrible. It's a good chunk of damage off it. I'm quite pleased with that. The Warhound smashed through the building in its movement phase, and now it's going to cause fiery death upon the Mechanicum, Castellex and Magos. I got 7 hits on the unit with the 2 Flamestorm cannons, looking for 4s, which I'll run out. I got 3, which is not... Oh no, 4. I got 4, which is not terrible. So Jamie, now you need to save on your automatic shielding.
So 5 up on the automatic shielding. I got 2 wounds on the squad.
Now we're into the tech thralls. I got 8 hits on the unit, and I'm killing on 2s. That is 7 dead tech thralls, which is fantastic because that's an objective.
That's not good.
That's not good for you. Great turn 1 shooting for the Iron Warriors. I managed to do some significant damage to certain units and ran my tactical squads into better positions ready for turn 2, and hopefully I'm not going to get too much damage taken on them. One final thing, the Warhound managed to regain 1 of its Void Shields back.
Mechanicum turn 2 movement. Successful reserve rolls for the Vultrex, so they're both on the table. The Darkfire have advanced up the side. The Scoria has went down the centre, trying to get towards the tactical squad. The Porphyrion has shifted slightly to get a better firing solution, and the Castellex on the far side, with the Mauler Bolters, have advanced towards the Titan. Mechanicum turn 2 shooting. The Darkfire Castellex have fired on the Deredeo. They got 6 successful hits, followed by 2 penetrating hits and a glancing hit. Lyden needs to do his saves now.
Yeah.
Take the glancing first.
Glancing first. It successes the glance and then 2 pens up. 1 successful pen.
I rolled a 3 on the damage chart. Because of the AP2, goes to a 4, which is crew is shaken.
But Iron Warriors have extra armour, so it goes back down to crew stunned.
The Darkfire also causes the blind rule, so now Lyden needs to take initiative steps.
So I need to get a 4 or under to pass my blind. And I pass. Whee! Blind again.
The Vultrex fired its arc rifle cannon and its missile pods at the tactical squad, be able to cause 3 wounds. The Vultrex fired at the tactical squad in the central plaza on the objective, causing 4 casualties. The Night Porphyrion fired its autocannon and its magma las cannon at the Deredeo. The autocannons were unsuccessful to damage it, but the magma las cannon caused a glance and a penetrating hit.
I'll now try and save the glance first and then a penetrating hit. So glance first, 5 up invulnerable. I got it, and then penetrating hit, 5 up invulnerable. I also got it.
Yeah!
Oh god! Take that, Porphyrion.
The Night Porphyrion fired its magma las cannon into the Titan. Got 2 hits onto it, 2 successful hits. Now need to roll to see if I get through the Void Shield. which it does.
You needed a 2, you got through with a 3. So I need to take a 4+ cover save from the building being obscured 25% to save the Void Shield. I need a 4 up. And I don't get it. Void Shield's gone.
The next hit is a hit on the Titan itself. It's a 3 for a glance, 4 for a pen.
Glance.
Glance.
That's good.
Cover
That's good for me.
save.
So I need a 4 up cover save from the building. And I get it.
Ah.
Denied. Thank you very much.
The Porphyrion fired its Iron Storm missile bank at the Tactical Squad in the centre plaza, but unfortunately it scattered very far away into the side of the Titan, but can't hurt it. Mechanicum turned to assault phase. The Castellex have assaulted the Titan, and they're choosing to smash. Needing 3s to hit. 3 hits. Needing 4s for a glance. Get to reroll armor penetrations because of smash. Ooh, that is a glance and 2 pens. Fantastic news. Got 2 penetrating hits on the Titan. Now I roll to see what happens. Oh, yeah.
So you got a 6, which is D3 extra.
Yeah.
4 points and a whole point anyway.
And the D3 is a further 3.
So
that is fantastic.
Oh, not good. So the Titan's down to 9 whole points now. Devastating attack from the Mechanicum there, losing 6 of the 9 whole points on the Warhound. Absolutely devastating. That's going to be difficult for me to recover from. But the Warhound does get to kick a Mechanicum in the face with 1 attack. At strength 10, I get a hit. So I'm strength 10, your toughness 7. I need a 2 up to wound. And I get a 2, so it's a wound.
3 up armor save for the Castellex, which I save.
Warhound does nothing. The Warhound attempted a stomp attack on the Magos and Castellex. I rolled a 3 on a D3, so that was 2 overall attacks, and it completely missed and did no damage to the Castellex or the Magos, which has made me very unhappy.
But now it's time for the Magos to shine, who's now going to attach a metal bomb to the bottom of the Titan. Needing a 3 to hit, which is a hit. It's strength 8 with armor bane. Front armor of 14. Ooh.
6s.
That goes up to... No, that is a miss. Unfortunately, the metal bomb wasn't able to penetrate the Titan's armor. The Magos is now going to use his Machinator Array, which can be used in addition to melter bombs. It has been brought up at a GW event. I questioned this and turned around and said it's perfectly viable. He's got 2 attacks Machinator Array, needing 3s to hit. Hits with 1. It does our armor bane, so I'm needing 9 on 2 dice to get a glance, which is a fail. Overall, the combat was absolutely amazing for the Mechanicum. Got 6 hull points off the 9 hull point Titan. I can see this is now going to turn into a very, very painful turn for the Mechanicum from the Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors turn 2 movement. We see the Mortis Dreadnought has advanced up the field to get a firing solution on the Mechanicum Castellex. The Iron Havocs have stayed in position, waiting for a firing solution. The Warhound has moved away from getting smashed to pieces by the Castellex and has decided to try and take on Scoria. The Leviathan with Storm Surge Cannons, Sikaran and the Siege Leviathan have all moved up the field to try and face the Mechanicum off. And the Doridio's moved out of cover to get more shots on either the Porphyrion or the Dark Lance Castellex. Iron Warriors turn 2 shooting. The Doridio is going to try and shoot the Porphyrion. It's got heavy 2 las cannons, so 2 shots, and it's on the side armour where the Ion Shield is facing. So BS5, 2s to hit. It gets 1 hit. Strength 10, side armour 13, 3 for a glance, 4 up for a pen. A pen on a 5. You need to do your Ion Shield, Jamie.
Iron Shield 4 up, which
you pass, so nothing. Combined fire from the Iron Warriors Tactical Marines and the Leviathan Dreadnought, seeing 1 Castellex fell with the Phosphex Discharger, Melter Guns and Rapid Fire and Bolt Guns. Mixed feelings about that turn, but it's 1 less Castellex to face off. The Iron Warriors Leviathan with the Storm Surge Cannon is going to shoot heavy 12 into the Castellex of Scoria's unit. BS5 looking for 2s to hit. That is 11 hits. Strength 7, toughness 7, 4s to wound. So 4 wounded.
So now, because it's AP3, goes through my armour, so now it's automatic shielding. I saved one.
It's good. 3 wounds. Great shooting phase there for the Leviathan. It killed a Castellex, but it didn't blow up, and its Volkite charges didn't damage any more Castellex. But overall, good turn. Combined firepower from both the Warhound's Infernus cannons. I've managed to get 6 hits on each unit, so we'll roll them off in individual units. So the first is against Scoria's unit, needing 4s to wound. That is 4 wounds, Jamie.
Because it's AP 3, we'll do 4 automatic shielding.
Oh,
which I saved.
Successful. That's not good. The second will be against the Castellex unit behind it. Again, looking for 4s. With 3 successful, so straight through to your automatic shielding.
Automatic shielding, needing 5 ups. I saved
2
1,
failed.
so 2 wounds.
And then the last is against the Tech Thralls, which I'm killing on 2s. All 6 dead in total.
6 dead Thralls.
The Sakaran Punisher shot 30 rounds at the Castellex and only managed to score 3 wounding hits in total, which Jamie now needs to save.
On the Castellex, have an armor save of a 3+. 2
2
wounds
failed.
go through.
The Mortis Dreadnought in the Plaza shot 12 shots from its Keres assault cannons into the Castellex, causing 1 standard wound and 2 rending. If you could please do your armor save first, Jamie.
Armor save of a 3 up.
Fail.
Fails.
And then
2
2
atomic
rending.
shielding. Which
Fail.
also failed.
Great. Good stuff.
3
3
wounds,
wounds
on the
overall.
Castellex.
The second Mortis Contemptor fired into the Castellex squad, again getting a very same result of 1 wound and 2 rending. Armor save first, please, Jamie.
So 3 up.
Fail.
Fails.
2 automatic shielding.
2 automatic shielding.
Fail
Saves
and
1,
success,
but
so
it's still 2 wounds, which means the Castellex explodes. Does it explode? It does not.
It does not. So a dead Castellex and a great round of shooting for the Iron Warriors. The Iron Warriors tactical squad in the Plaza laid down a hail of fire onto the Castellex with 9 shots hitting, killing a Castellex and wounding the Dominus, really taking that squad down in numbers, which is really handy. The Iron Havocs are going to take a clutch shot at the Porphyrion. 3 of them can see, so they're going to take a pop shot to see if I can take some wounds off it. 2s to hit, 3 hits, strength 9, front armor 14, so 5 ups. And a glance and a pen.
Because of intervening models, I get to do a cover save of a 4+. What would you like me to take first, sir?
Take the glance first, please.
Glance, save,
Saves and pen.
and the pen also
Oh,
saves.
great.
Go Mechanicum.
It was worth it. Totally worth it. Iron Warriors assault phase in turn 2. I've took some snapshots from the Darkfire Lancers and I'm going to try a 12-inch charge with the Leviathan. Oh, nearly. That was just the other side of the dice. Leviathan doesn't get in. End of Iron Warriors turn 2. The Warhound regained a Void Shield.
Mechanicum turn 3 movement. The force in general is just moved up to get a better firing solution and also get up close, ready to do some close combat hopefully this turn. Mechanicum turn 3 shooting. The Magos Dominus has used the Cyberphage Power Right of Destruction, which allows a model it targets to fire twice. He took it onto the Darkfire Castellex in front of him. 3 hits went through. One of them did get hot and he didn't pass the saving throw, and the other one got 2 hits through as well. And then rolled on the damage chart on the Leviathan, and I got a glancing and a penetrating hit. Would you like to take your saves, please?
Which one would you like me to save for first?
Would you save for the glancing first?
So he'll do his 4 up invuln first for the glance. He gets it. And then his
the
4
pen.
up invuln for the pen, which he fails. So the pen goes through.
And the pen, it's AP2, so it's +1. That is a 2 to a 3, which is crew stunned. But extra armor
drops down to crew shaken.
The Vultrex fired its Haywire launcher at the Leviathan. On the Haywire chart, he got a glance and a penetrating hit. Could you please do a save on the glance,
Yep,
please,
I'll
sir?
do the invulnerable save for the glance. 4 up, passes, and the pen. He also passes.
Yeah.
Successful.
Scoria is going to fire his Archaeotech pistols at the Titan, needing 2s to hit. 2 hits. He's also going to fire his Photon Thruster as well, which is 2 hits. 1 does get hot. It gets hot, doesn't wound him. And also the multi-melters are going to fire as well, which is on freeze. and miss.
Multi-rolls from the Castellix.
Yeah. So there's 2 void shields first. So the Architect pistols needing 6s.
Oh, one.
1 void shield's gone. And then the Photon thruster is another
Oh, there's another cheeky
one gone.
6.
No void shields left on the Titan.
Stripped of the void shields.
The second Vultrex is fired at the Punisher in its side. It only got 1 hit on its haywire launcher. Now let's see what the result is. It's a glancing hit. Because there's intervening models, it does get a 5 up cover save.
5. I will roll a 5 up cover save. Not like that.
So that's a glancing hit. The Dominus and Castellix unit fired at the tactical squad in the courtyard. It took on 3 wounds.
Of which 2 died.
The Bifurion fired its left magma las cannon into the Deredeo, causing 1 penetrating hit.
Which I will try and save with my invuln. And
Which
I do.
he saves.
Oh, Deredeo.
The Caster Snipe Bifurion fired its magma las cannon at the levy in the centre. It caused a glancing and a penetrating hit on the levy and also the Titan, which now the saving throws will be rolled.
So I'll try my invuln on the levy first.
For a glance. Which is a fail.
And the pen,
which is
also
a fail.
Damage chart, please, Jamie.
For the pen, goes up to a 4, which is crew shaken.
Extra armor goes down.
Yep, crew stunned.
And just the glance is a hull point. So it's 2 extra hull points off it.
The roll for the penetrating hit on the Titan is a 6. Which is +1, which is an explode, which is D3 extra on top, which is another 3, which it is destroyed.
The Titan's down.
The Bifurion caused a titanic explosion on the Titan, which we rolled for. We got the devastating explosion. It did scatter and it did land right on top of Scoria's head.
Thank God.
So we're going to roll on the table now and see what happens. Bear in mind, this is a D shot as well, AP2.
I'd like a 6.
I don't. Whoa. And then there was 2 Castellix also caught in the D shot as well. I'll roll for them individually. That's a 3 and a 1, so it's missed. 1 more Castellix was clipped with the Strength 8 as well, which is also a hit. We resolved the Titanic explosion. Scoria and 3 Castellix all took 1 wound from the Titanic explosion, which was not good.
It was not good. My Titan's dead.
The Night Bifurion fired its Ironstorm missile banks at the tactical squad in the plaza, killing 2 Marines. The Magos Dominus squad attempted to charge the tactical squad, unfortunately failed his charge. The Darkfire Castellix also tried to charge the Leviathan. It snapshotted with 2 melters and 2 flamers, causing 1 hit, but I did get to save it. Unfortunately, I failed the charge. Scoria rolled for his It Will Not Die, and he rolled a 5, so he gained his wound back.
Iron Warriors turn 3. Unfortunately, we start with a massive loss, that is the Warhound Titan. I mean, what do you say? It's such a big thing to lose, but I think it was critical putting there because it's kept the Iron Havoc safe from fire. They now have a straight line of sight to the Porphyrion, which is really crucial now. I need to try and take that down. The Leviathan on the flank has advanced up to meet the Darkfire Castellix. The Deradios also came up to get a fire installation on the Porphyrion if needs be. Failing that, the Vultrex. The Sicaran didn't move last turn, so hopefully this turn it can rend. And the Mortis have advanced to also try and take out the last remaining Magos and Castellix on the other flank. Iron Warriors turn 3 shooting. This is a really crucial game-changing shot potentially for me. I need to take that Porphyrion out with my Iron Havocs. I'm going to shoot 9 last cannons at it, hitting on 2s, but his Ion Shield is facing the front, so I need to take that into consideration. I have 9 shots hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1s because of Carvalon's ability. Fail, so that's 8 hit. 8 out of the 9 hits went through, so now I need 5 ups for a glance and then pen. I get to reroll because of Tank Hunter, so that looks 2 glances so far. A pen, so 2 glances and a pen in total.
What would you like me to take?
If you could save the glances first, please, Jamie.
So 4 ups. One is saved.
Fail and a save.
And then the pen.
A fail.
is
Dramatic.
failed.
This is good.
Would you like
So now we're rolling on the damage table. So I'll do the pen. 3, AP2 goes to 4, crew stunned. And that's it. Utter devastation with the Iron Warriors there. I really thought them last cannons would have done far more than they did. This might now even be more crucial than the Iron Havocs. It's the Dorito. Luckily, I am shooting at its side armour, so he's no shielding. Heavy 2 with the last cannons, hitting on 2s. 2 hits. This is good. Strength 10, armour on the side is 13, 3 ups. A glance. But that's it, a glance. I don't get my burn through, unfortunate. The Dorado wanted to shoot its Helios missiles into the Vultrex, but it failed to do anything. The Leviathan shot its melter guns, but failed to do anything to the Castellex, and managed to get a wound through on Flamers, which made the Castellex blow up, causing no damage to the other Castellex or the Magos. The Leviathan fired everything it had into Scoria's unit, killing a Castellex and taking a wound off Scoria. Combined firepower from both of the Mortis Dreadnoughts took a Castellex out of the Dominus' squad, leaving the Dominus on his own with very low health. The Sakaran Punisher put 30 shots into Scoria's unit, killing a Castellex, and the Marines on the far side put a couple of rounds and took a wound off another Castellex. Iron Warriors turn 3 assault. The Leviathan did its Hammer of Wrath attacks, getting 3, smashing the Castellex to the floor. Following up into the Magos Dominus, it is going to get 6 attacks on 3s, followed by 2s. That is 5, followed by 2s, which is 4.
The Magos Dominus gets a 4 up invulnerable save. Followed by a 5 up, feel no pain.
Which he fails.
which he's dead.
Magos is down, thank God. Leviathan gets to consolidate D6, which he gets 2 inches.
Mechanicum turn 4 movement. I decided to pivot the Porphyrion a bit more to try and get rid of the dreaded Leviathan that is a real big pain. Scoria decided to join the other unit, Castellex, to basically just bulk him out. The 2 Vultrex flew across the board to go and pay the Punisher a bit of a visit because it's a really big target at the moment. And the Magos Dominus on the other side of the board is now going over towards the Contemptor. Mechanicum turn 4 shooting. The Vultrex next to the statue is going to fire into the side of the Punisher. First of all, its arc rifle is going to fire, needing freeze to hit. 2 hits. And on the hairwire chart, we get 2 glances, which finishes it off. The second Vultrex is going to fire into the back of the Leviathan, needing freeze to hit. 2 hits. And then see what happens on the chart. That is a glance and a glance, needing 2 invulnerable saves.
The Leviathan's going to do its 2 invulnerable saves and fail 1. So it loses a whole point.
Yes. Scoria casts the Cyberfugy power Right of the Beast on his Castellex in his unit, which allows them to reroll all failed to hit rolls in combat, gives them +1 to their move, and also +1 to their initiative. He also then fired his Force 1 Thruster into the Leviathan, but wasn't able to penetrate it or wound it. The Magos Dominus fired his Infernus pistol at the Contemptor, was successful in getting a glance against it, but unfortunately the Contemptor did save his throw.
Fortunate for the Iron Warriors.
The Knight Porphyrion fired its Magma Las Cannon at the Deredeo, and as you can see, it's left a big hole. The shot from the actual Las Cannon also clipped the squad and also removed them. The Knight Porphyrion fired its second Magma Las Cannon at the Iron Havoc squad, which got 10 successful wounds on, but there is a cover, so 10 4-up covers, please.
I need to do 10 4-ups, yeah. There's not a lot there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 saved, 3 die.
The Magma Las Cannon did actually cause 4 wounds on the Las Cannon squad, but it's really reduced the firepower of the squad overall, so it's always a good thing for the Mechanicum. I did fire the Iron Storm on them as well, but unfortunately wasn't able to cause any wounds. Mechanicum turn 4 assault phase. The Magos Dominus was charging into the Contemptor, but was really unlucky and rolled 2 1s for his charge distance. Also, Scoria charged into the Levy, but unfortunately did take a wound in the process. Scoria has charged into the Levy. He's now going to do his attacks. This is from the Vordian Spear, which most people know is very, 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 very horrible. So, needing 4s to hit. That is 3 automatic glancing hits on
So I'll
the
get
Levy.
3 invuns.
Yep.
So 3 4-ups. Oh, 2 failed. 2 failed.
2 go through.
2 go through. He's lost 2 hull points already, so that's him hull pointed to death, unfortunately. That's not good.
That's the end of the combat for Scoria. And consolidate, 3 inches. Also, Scoria has just rolled for his It Will Not Die, but unfortunately wasn't able to get a wound back.
Iron Warriors turn 4 movement. The Mortis have moved up to get better firing solutions on the tech thralls on the objective. The Mortis in the courtyard has moved away from the Dominus and sort of got into a position where it could choose to shoot the Vultrex or the Dominus. The last cannons now have another clear line of sight after losing a couple more Marines on the Porphyrion. Hopefully they'll get to do something this turn. The Leviathan has ran up this flank and he's going to attempt to do something to the Porphyrion this turn. Fingers crossed. Iron Warriors turn 4 shoot, and I'm going to start with the most crucial shot of the game. My 5 Iron Havocs really need to take out that Porphyrion. Hitting on, it's got 3 hull points left. This is very crucial. So hitting on 2s, I hit with all of them. Front armor 14. He does have the shield. They are strength 9, so 5 ups. And I got a yeah, sorry, thank you. Get to re-roll because of Tank Hunter. And I have a glance and 2 pens, which Jamie needs to save his iron shields with. If you could please save the glance first, Jamie.
So the glance is saved.
Saved. Now,
And then the 2
pens. Come on, come on.
1 goes through.
1 goes through.
What does it do?
It does a 5, so 6, so that's immobilized. So Heavy Walker can't be immobilized. Yeah. Hull pointed. Oh, the Combat Leviathan is going to attempt to use its melters and take the last remaining hull points off the Porphyrion. It's within 12, so it gets to shoot its melter effect. Hitting on 2s first. 2 hits. So this is 2d6. I need 6 or more on 2 dice per shot. First shot, 6. Second shot, 8. Oh. So that's a glance and a pen. So the result was a glance and a pen. Jamie, if you could do the glance first, please.
So 4 up.
That is a pass, and the
penetrating
pen,
hit,
which
also
is a pass.
passes.
Jeebus.
Oh yeah.
Let's hope I can get him to charge with it. Carvalin and his squad shot onto the Magos in the courtyard, removing his last wound and killing him dead. The Iron Warrior's Mortis shot up at the Vultrex, hoping to get some 6s on rending and make it crash and burn, but unfortunately was unable to harm it. The other Mortis managed to shoot at the Tech Thralls, wiping that unit off the objective.
Mechanicum turn 5 movement. Just reshuffled a couple of the units about. The Castellex with Scoria are going to try and take out the Leviathan. 2 Vultrex have basically just switched sides. One of them is going towards the Contemptor Cortis, and the other one is going towards the back of the Leviathan, hopefully to take care of that. The Tech Thralls are now trying to get across the table to get that objective, which is going to be really crucial at the end of this game. The Porphyrion is also shuffled a little bit backwards because he's getting a bit too close for comfort. Mechanicum turn 5 shooting. So far the Vultrex has fired into the Contemptor, which has been awesome with its shooting and got 2 hull points on it. The second Vultrex has fired into the rear of the Leviathan and also got another hull point on it, just 1 away from being destroyed. Scoria has just fired his Photon Thruster into the side of the Leviathan, and with a lot of luck he's actually finally got the last hull point on it, so the Leviathan is destroyed. The Porphyrion fired its Iron Storm, Magma Las Cannon and 2 autocannons into the Iron Havocs. It was successful in killing 3 of them, but there's still 2 remaining. End of turn 5 for the Mechanicum, being very successful with my dice rolls. Took 3 models off of the Iron Havoc squad, which is always amazing. Scoria was able to get rid of the Leviathan, which was causing serious threat. He also rolled for It Will Not Die, but was unsuccessful. The Tech Frowls have also run towards the objective, which is now becoming a key part of the game, and have been rolling for the Auto Simulacra for the Porphyrion every turn, but being very unsuccessful.
Iron Warriors turn 5 movement. The Mortis Dreadnought advanced into a position where it can potentially hide from fire until next turn and maybe get a couple of shots at them Tech Thralls on the objective. The Mortis in the courtyard has decided to stay put and hopefully get firing solutions on the Voltrex and maybe, if that's not possible, Scoria. Valen and his unit are also taking up aim in the windows to get some shots off at the Voltrex, and the Iron Warriors will kill that Porphyrion with their last cannons this turn. I hope to God. So, yeah, this is crucial now. Iron Warriors turn 5 shooting phase. The Mortis Contemptor in the plaza shot up at the Voltrex, stripping a few hull points off it. The other Mortis took some snap firing shots and stripped another wound off it with the rending ability. Valen and his squad snap fired through the window, through the smoke and the haze, and unfortunately did nothing to it, but it was worth it to try and ground it.
Now we take a grounding test. It's fine.
You needed a 3 up to pass? That's unfortunate. That's still flying. Oh well. The Iron Havocs are now going to try again to kill the Porphyrion with its 2 remaining hull points. I need to hit on 2s, so we'll go for that first. They both hit. I need 5+ to glance it because of the shield. I do not. This is unkillable. This is terrible. I just remembered the squad gets Tank Hunter, so I get to reroll that failed to wound to hits. So again, it failed. The Iron Havocs have not been successful this game in destroying the Porphyrion or even hurting its armour.
End of Mechanicum turn 6. What a crucial part of the game. Despite everything that's been thrown at her, the Porphyrion is still alive. She fired everything she could at the Iron Havoc squad. She was able to remove the last 2 Iron Havocs off the table. Her left Magma Las cannon fired at Valen's unit, but was unable to wound anybody. Scoria fired at the last Space Marine on the objective in the plaza. He was able to remove it from the table, so that's given an objective point away from the enemy. The Voltrex fired at the Contemptor in the plaza as well, took the remaining hull points off it. The Tech Frowls ran towards the objective. They're now within range, so hopefully if they survive can claim at the end of the game. The last remaining Voltrex fired at the back of the Contemptor, which caused a glancing hit on it, but also got a crew stunned result. I've done my very best to try and deny the Iron Warriors this, but we'll have to just see what happens.
Turn 6 for the Iron Warriors, the final valiant effort of the Iron Warriors to try and take this game from the Mechanicum. Valen and his men ran through the building to try and get a couple more shots into Scoria to try and take his remaining wounds. Unfortunately, they were unable to, but it was a good attempt nonetheless. They are still on an objective, which is crucial for me at this point in the game. The Contemptor Mortis popped out of cover and shot some snapfire shots into the Tech Thralls, luckily killing 1, and 1 was all I needed for you to be out of range of the objective, which is really desperately helpful for me now. Just such an intense game. I really struggled with the Mechanicum, but I think I clawed it back to a point where this could be equal. Super game. Obviously losing the Warhound was a big thing, but I think putting it in that place saved me a few dangerous shots from the Porphyrion onto the Iron Havocs until they finally died valiantly. Yeah, really good game. So let's see what the result is after we do victory points.
The dust has settled. The Warhound has hit the deck, smashed into 1,000 pieces.
1,000 pieces and more.
Left on the rubble of the battlefield, and the Porphyrion stands over command of the battlefield. Jamie, you are an absolute butcher.
And I've got a feeling that name will now stick for the rest of my life.
I'll make sure of it.
Yeah.
Holy dooly! All right, we'll be brisk with this because Lyden's not feeling too good right now. It's not good.
I felt better.
So the final victory points were Mechanicum scored 11 points for Death Toll, which was a fantastic score. So you got a point for every unit destroyed or fallen back at the end of the game. And then you scored an additional 2 points for Price of Failure. So we called it Dominion of Lies. And we attached that Price of Failure onto the end because we both had a Lord of War. So Jamie, you scored 13.
Yeah.
You're a beast. And the Iron Warriors did a really valiant effort towards the end. They knocked the Mechanicum off that, the Tech Throws off that final objective.
Yeah, I think that was good in my favour in the end. It meant you didn't get more victory points.
That's right. And you secured that objective at the end with Carvalen and his squad, or Carvalen rather. And you got a few victory points, 6 points.
Yeah, there was room there to improve, really, I think. But it's the way the dice fall on the day, and that thing. Yeah, I could not touch it.
Like,
I just
weathered everything.
They did really well. But before we go any further, we still need to roll on the War Allies chart. So it's a D6. We don't want a 6. That's minus D3 victory points. Yeah. So for you, Lyden, probably a 2 to 5 is good for you.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Let's have a look.
And it's a 1.
That is no victory points. And I might add just now, Jamie has rolled an inordinate amount of 6s in this game, and Lyden's rolls has just been, Las Cannons hitting on 2, glancing on 4s, penning on 6s.
Tank Hunter just couldn't scratch the paint.
Couldn't do it. And then your saves, Jamie, were just bonkers.
I'm just going to say out there, Stephen Pardo, if you're watching, the dice you've made are the best dice I've ever had. I mean...
They did well for you.
I've never rolled so many 6s in my life, let's put it that way. Usually I roll 1s.
I should have brought mine.
I know, Jesus.
Awesome work, Pardo. Well done on those dice.
Really well done.
Good man. Lyden, let's start with you.
Yeah.
I was worried at the beginning of this game about the list, particularly these 2 massive heavy hitters.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to take command over the battlefield. But you know what? Although the Porphyrion was powerful, I don't think it was too bad in the end.
I don't think the Porphyrion was all as bad as it made out. It just didn't die, which meant it was always firing back, which sounds obvious, but it really didn't help me, especially when you were chipping away the Iron Havocs.
And you could have done that by turn 2.
I could have done it by turn 2.
You just needed like 2 6s.
Like, the dice rolls, you should have done it in the first of your turn, really, with your Iron Havocs.
By all rights, you're totally right. I should have. But it
just didn't happen. Yeah, it's a dice game. It's a dice game.
Yeah.
RNG.
But also, the Flamers and the Warhound,
a little bit lackluster.
They were a little, weren't they?
I have to say, it's the first time I've ran them. I've read the rules and I thought, they're quite nice. I like the idea. But they need something like Shred or something else. They need to be able to have an effect, because such a large flamer, you would expect it to actually just completely melt steel and cause horrific damage. It did okay. But I think it has the potential to do far more, considering what platform it's on. Yeah,
it's really interesting, isn't it? Because the Warhound's been out a very, very long time. The weapon options have been out for a long time too. Yeah. Then this new guy turns up on the block,
and knight of all things.
Yeah, and his rules are spectacular.
Yeah,
and they are far better than perhaps some of the Reaver weapons, some of the Warhound weapons. And
it's cheaper.
Yeah, a lot cheaper. A lot of people I have talked to, they've always said that it's verging. Literally, it should be a Titan, which I completely agree. It is powerful for what it is.
Fluff-wise, that's the gap it fits. Though.
Yeah, that is the gap.
It's nearly that, but not quite.
Yeah,
but then again,
it's
the problem with Warhounds. I think is though. I could have took weapons that would have done drastically more.
Yeah,
but then that enters the realms of just it's very unforgiving.
It's just the D, isn't it? I think every gamer feels robbed when that 6 comes up. There's no recourse to that, is there? No, there's no cover save. Gone. There's no involvement. It's just removed from playing.
D6 plus 6,
and that's not cool, is it?
Good,
no. So I'm, really relieved when you took that, and you were ballsy. It went straight up. Didn't
I
it?
don't like to sit them back, not at all. No. Whenever I've played with Titans, I don't. It's not for everyone. It's such a big kit and it is expensive. I understand why people, keep them at the back and give it the range weapons and don't move it because they're scared to, or they don't want to in case you damage it. I don't really mind. I like to have this thing. It's a Scout Titan, so it needs to move. It needs to go fast and it needs to be up, given, putting that pressure on players. If I like to reduce the amount of distance between me and them, that puts the pressure on them to actually either get away or to really focus and deal with that. And it did. It did put a bit of pressure on. It did get focused, and it did definitely die.
Yeah.
But I don't like. Yeah, in a nutshell, I don't like to keep them stationary. No. They're too easy of a target then.
Yeah. I mean, the Iron Warriors did a great job.
And it actually helped save some Iron Havocs at one point.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tactical sacrifice there, I think.
Massive line of sight blocker, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Huge.
I mean, it definitely kept them alive for that turn.
Yeah.
It kept until turn 6.
Yeah.
I think otherwise there'd have been a turn 4 death for the Iron Havocs.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, and Jamie, you know, you are the victor in this game here. You did put on a spectacular display. Your dice were pretty amazing. I'm
Yeah.
not blaming that on the victory, because
No,
you did play
God,
some
no.
real tactical
Yeah.
gameplay. What do you reckon?
Oh, I mean, where do you
sum it
begin? Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
You've enjoyed yourself though, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, great game. There was a lot of moments where you think, oh, this is going to turn either way.
Yeah.
I just think that the dice rolls today were just on point.
Yeah,
And I've never had that before, so I'm a bit taken back, I'll be honest.
It helps, doesn't it?
It definitely helps.
It definitely does.
It's good stuff.
We're both quite tactical, but it's out the
Yeah,
window when you
yeah,
get ones and twos.
Yeah.
But overall, I really want to thank you, David.
Oh,
It's such
yeah,
an experience,
definitely.
you know.
Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
It's really
Absolutely.
a hella good experience.
Thank you very
yeah.
much for this opportunity.
Oh, hey, you know, I've said this time and time again. The channel would not be here if it wasn't for guys like you and armies like you come on the channel. You know, I pride myself in the quality of guys and the armies we get on, and you two definitely tick those boxes. So, you know, it's worth noting, you guys at home, you know, Lyden and Jamie have put some serious miles to be here today. You know, you've come away from West Cumbria, you've paid for your hotel, we've had some food, we've had a couple of drinks, you know, you've been here for 2 days. I think we've got to know each other quite well.
Very well.
I think so.
So, you know, it's a whole weekend and you've booked a day off to recover from it all.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's time, effort and money, and we, you know, really appreciate that.
I'll definitely need some R&R after that.
Yeah.
After that stomping.
My R&R is to go on a 10-hour shift at work tomorrow
Oh,
at 5 o'clock in the morning.
lovely.
Who really won there?
So all that remains to say, I sincerely hope that these guys will come back and do another game for you guys at home. I really, really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget that the terrain was painted by Liam at Phoenix Commission. Liam, you did a fantastic job. Thank you. And Griff at Unreal Wargaming Studios, your Forge World-esque type buildings are spectacular.
Stunning. Yeah,
Absolutely
beautiful.
They are awesome, aren't they? And I know Griff has got a load of stock ready now, and it should be up for sale very soon. So you know, we'll do all the links and everything for Griff. Gents, thanks again. We took loads of photos.
We did.
180
Yes.
photos, I think.
Give or take.
So they'll be on the Facebook page for you guys to go to and have a look. You're going to come back though, right?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
If you'll have us back.
Yeah.
That's if you want me here.
Ah,
It's one of them.
I might leave Jamie at home.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's cool.
I'd like want to come for a game. Could have been Jimmy. No.
We'll leave him.
Yeah.
I'd like to end it with the final handshake of the game. there, Jamie.
Absolutely. Well
Thank
done,
you
sir.
very much. Great game, and thank you, David, for having us.
Lyden, thank
Super.
you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, my friends. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Go to the Facebook page. Go to the Instagram page. Both these guys are available on Instagram. So, Lyden, you are
I am LP_miniatures.
fantastic.
And mine is Milligan_1992.
Which is your date of birth?
Which is my date of birth.
It's disgusting.
I'm
Yeah.
old.
It's so young.
So bad.
Those details will be up on the bottom.
Yeah.
We will see you in the next game.